but usually in
but usually
4 không vậy.
but usually
the kitchen
in a kitchen
you have cabinets
you have cabinet
or cupboards
or cupboards
where you store things,
where you store things,
and on top
and on top
you have a counter.
you have a counter.
A counter is
A counter is
a general
a general
word that
word that refers
refers to the top of something,
to the top of something,
usually somewhere where
usually somewhere
you do something
where you do something
on top of it.
on top of it.
In this case,
In this case,
the kitchen counter is
the kitchen counter
where you prepare
is where you prepare
food.
food.
Well, I clean off the kitchen
Well, I clean up the kitchen
counter
counter
after I put away the groceries.
I put away the groceries.
The groceries,
The groceries,
G-R-O-C-E-R,
Groceries,
I-E-S, plural,
plural,
are the food
are the food
that I buy at
that I buy at
the market.
the market.
We sometimes
We sometimes
call a supermarket
call a supermarket
a grocery
a grocery store,
a place where you
a place where you
buy groceries,
that you buy
buy food that you
groceries, buy food that
bring home
you bring home
and prepare
and prepare
and eat at home.
and eat at home.
I decided to make pasta,
I decide to make pasta,
so I preheat
so I preheat
the oven
the oven
to 375.
to 375
To preheat,
to preheat.
P-R-E-H-E-A-T,
P-R-E-H-E-A-T
really means the same here
really means the same
as to heat.
here as to heat.
But if you look
But if you look
at the instruction,
at the instructions
it's for making
for making food,
food, what we would call the recipe,
what we would call the recipe,
R-E-C-I-P-E,
R-E-C-I-P-E,
the recipe for
the recipe
making food,
for making food.
usually it begins if you are going to be
if you are going to cook it
cooking something
something
in the oven by telling you
by telling you
to preheat
to reheat
the oven. That just means
that should means
to turn it on
to turn it on
so that when you are ready, when it is hot,
ready, when it is hot,
you can put the food in to cook.
you can put the food into cook.
P-R-E means
P-R-E means
before or to do something before. So I preheat the oven to
375.
In other words, 375 degrees Fahrenheit. I preheat because I want to bake the bread and keep the chicken hot until my wife
until my wife gets
To bake,
to bake.
B-A-K-E,
Bake
is to cook something,
is to cook something,
usually in an oven.
usually in an oven.
So I open the oven door,
So I open the oven door.
I put in the bread,
I put in the bread.
I put in the chicken,
I put in a chicken,
and then I close it.
and then I close the door.
My wife is going to be home
My wife is going to be home
late, so I want to
late, so I want
keep the chicken hot.
to keep the chicken hot.
I want to make sure that
I want to make sure
it stays hot.
that it stays hot.
I put some water
I put some water
in a pan.
in a pan.
A pan is what you use to cook
A pan is what you use to cook
something in.
something in.
So I put some water
So I put some water
in a pan, and I turned the burner
and I turn the burner
on high.
on high.
The burner,
The burner,
B-U-R-N-E-R,
B-U-R-N-E-R,
is on top of
is what on top of
what we would call your
what we would call your
stove,
stove.
S-T-O-V-E.
S-T-O-V-E.
Your burners
Your burners
are for cooking
are for cooking
food where you have
food where you have the heat
comes from the bottom,
comes from the bottom,
and you put the pan on
and you put the pan on
top of the heat.
top of the heat.
So if you are going to
So if you are going to boil
some water, make the water hot,
make the water hot,
you would put it in the pan
you would put it in a pan
and then put it on top
and then put it on top of
of a burner.
And a burner
Is part of your stove.
is part of your stove.
Usually stoves and ovens are one machine,
one machine,
one in one single piece in many American kitchens. In my kitchen, the stove is on top of the oven.
The stove is on top of the oven.
I'm going to boil some water.
I'm going to boil some water.
To boil, B-O-I-L,
B-O-I-L,
means to make the water
the one up
hot until
very hot until
you start to see bubbles. The average temperature is 212
is 212
degrees
Fahrenheit
or 100 degrees Celsius in order to boil water. Well, when the water starts
when the water starts
boiling,
when it starts
to make bubbles, because it is very hot, I put in the pasta.
I put in the pasta.
I take the pasta.
I take the pasta.
The pasta noodles.
The pasta noodle.
N-O-O-D-L-E-S. The little pieces of
the little piece of
pasta. We call
those
noodles. And I put them into the boil.
And I put them into the boiling
water so they can cook. Then I decide I want to make a salad. Because I'm very
Tới đây là because
Be hungry.
I'm very hungry.
Well, just as I decide
Well, just as I
to
decide
make the salad,
to make the salad,
just then,
just then
my wife opens the back door.
I wind up from the back door. 8 môn sao? 8 môn sao?